A rushing after, chasing after, or relying or trusting on the sacramentals while ignoring, neglecting, or abandoning, or even being in enmity with the hidden reality or power that makes those sacramentals effective is called idolatry. And gradually, sad enough to say that some Catholics are moving into idolatry unknowingly. And sacramentals are those gestures, sacred objects, or gestures or words that are set apart and established by the church to incite worship in good thoughts in us and increase devotion within us. And so, sacramentals are the products of the church, while our dependence should squarely be mainly on the sacraments. The essence of the sacramentals are to incite devotion, pious disposition in us, so that we will be able to receive effectively the sacraments. And we know there are 7 sacraments. And so today, some of us lay more emphasis on sacramentals, holy water, rosary, and all that, while ignoring the sacraments. And so someone could be praying rosary in mortal sin, and depending that Our Lady will save him or her from whatever danger. God might do it. God might do it. But while living in sin and clamor and depending on sacramentals is a sin of its double nature. Because Our Lady would want you to convert. Naturally, would want you to convert. You can't be in love with Our Lady and then hate the Son. No. You would naturally love Jesus, and also love to Jesus is a love to our Blessed Mother Mary. And so you can't be honoring her and then despising the Son. And in fact, you are not even honoring her, because no one who lives in mortal sin is a true devotee of the Blessed Mother Mary. No. And so in our age, we see this chase of also people who hate the church, but also make use of the sacramentals established by the church. They are in enmity with the church, but they make use of holy water. It is the church that established that. The sacraments are established by the Lord Jesus Christ, and they work effectively on its own. They confer grace by mere work performed. When a priest celebrates Mass, you receive grace there if you are in a state of grace. But the sacramentals disposes you and works according to your own holiness, so that if you are an enemy of God, you might hardly receive effectively what you ask for. And so, in the reading of today, in Numbers chapter 21, verse 8, God asked Moses to make a serpent, bronze serpent, that those who beaten by serpents in the wilderness might behold it and get healed. But do you know in 2 Kings chapter 18 verse 4, he asked them to destroy it, because the people were now worshipping it, laying more emphasis on it more than God Sabaoth, the Yahweh Sabaoth, the Lord who made those things. These are revelations of God. So you can't go to those things that reveal God and deny God who walks through those things. And today we even have personality cults where we worship some priests and some persons neglecting God himself. You believe in the prophetic words of a priest, but you neglect Jesus. You are an enemy of Jesus. You are literally living in sin. Dear friends, the essence of the sacrament is to provoke worship in us, that we might then go into the worship of God. Remember, in Jeremiah chapter 7 in verse 4, the people were making a deceptive statement that this temple will save us. Some Catholics have holy water in their abodes, in their houses, but they are literally living in sin and in enmity against their neighbors, even having some ill feelings towards other people. And God condemned it in that Jeremiah chapter 7 verse 4. Sacramentals should not be given more emphasis than the sacraments. Go to confession. Be in union with God. If you are in union, in proper communion with God, He can work wonders with anything. These are the ones established by the church. But God can perform miracles outside those ones established by the church. They are good to be made use of. But be in union with God. Love God and love Jesus Christ. Love Jesus Christ revealed, and He would manifest Himself and to you. And today, people go skip mass and go to blessed holy water. They skip mass deliberately and go to blessed holy water. May God help us to love Jesus Christ. Remember, there are 3 levels of worship: latria, hyperdulia, and dulia. And let me say that dulia, I start with latria. Latria is that worship we offer to God, adoration. Proskinesis, as according to Greeks, that you lie prostrate to God, and that is to God only. So Catholics, we do this unknowingly. Some people, out of devotion and love they have for our Blessed Mother Mary, they kneel. I mean, they genuflect. That simple genuflection, one, or the both knees. These are to God. These are to Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament, either in the tabernacle or exposed. Our mother needs a bow. You can kneel before her and pray, because you also kneel like a priest kneels before a bishop during ordination and receives a blessing. That one is not a problem. But kneeling as in you are adoring our mother, no, she wouldn't want adoration. The honor to her, the worship of veneration given to her is called hyperdulia, and she needs it. That you recognize that she's the mother of Jesus Christ and give her respect. And the third one is protodulia, the one we give to Joseph because he is the first among the saints. Then the last one is dulia, the one we offer to the rest of the saints. We offer to saints worship of veneration and respect because they behold God face to face. If we respect earthly pastors, how much more the saints?